All right, so this is the 6:45 Monday 17th webinar. So today we're going to be going over a lot of interesting topics up to and including season management, season configuration, adding online registration, how that works, adding in your schedule, removing events from the schedule, cancellations, rainouts, things of that sort, sanctioned classes, when to use them, when not to use them, and adding and utilizing online tickets. So we will get started. If you have any questions as we go through it, feel free to ask those. Those are going to be in Alt and H, and there will be a few other things I will ask you all to do to verify your attendance. So Alt and H is the place to do that. We will get started right here. So this is my track and my series. So I have both, a track and a series here. And what we're going to be doing is just going through a lot of the different things. There's subtle differences between the two. So if you have a series, we got you covered. Or if you have a track. So let's go into season management, and we will get started. So I've already done this, but if it's the beginning of the season for you, you will need to go up here, click this, and go into new season. You're going to create a 2020 season in the system. So seasons are how we're going to be organizing and storing our different years, how we're going to be doing that. So we can actually go into past seasons here, keep track of different points championships, things like that we're doing in there. And when you do that, it'll take you into the configuration section right here. So we'll do this for both the track and the series. So those are both here. There's going to be subtle differences between the two. So the first main thing here between the track is that the track is locked down on what tracks it can have. So you can only have the one, but it can add as many series as it likes, and it can add as many classes as it likes. And the opposite is true for the series. So the series can have as many tracks that they're going to be running at, but they're locked down on how many classes they can run at any given time. So we actually set up the classes when you create a series inside of MyRacePass. So in this case, your favorite series is a Sport Compact series. So that's what that is. So when we add this in here, it's going to add Sport Compact to the list of things that we're going to be racing here. So the reason we do that is so that it creates a link between the two. So if we're at an event and your favorite track is racing with your favorite series, it's going to be the same thing. It'll actually share over the entries, the lineups, the results. All of that will only need to be done once if they're both using MyRacePass. So that's why we kind of have this sort of setup here. So the first thing I recommend is adding in the series that you're going to be racing with. That'll let you add in the different classes you're going to be doing, or the different series classes. And then you can also see all the different classes that we're going to be running here. So we can click Add Classes. This is a list of all of the classes that I have used in the past. So I can click a couple here. Let's add some sprint cars in there. But let's say we have classes that aren't on this list, I haven't run with before. There's a couple ways I can look at that. So I can see either sanctioned classes. So we can pick a class of the sanction. Something I will say for WSOTA and IMCA, we've actually made special classes for them for the entire sanction. So for WSOTA, we've actually already gone in and done this for you. We've replaced those classes with the special classes that you're supposed to be using. So is everyone else able to hear me? It does look like it is picking up my audio. I would say it's a little beyond my troubleshooting here, but okay, good. Okay, good. Just being a little paranoid. Thank you for letting me know that you're able to hear me. I appreciate that. So if you are a sanctioned class, or if you're sanctioned with WSOTA, you might see these. So there's a couple. These are the old classes here. We're going to be removing those. The new classes will not have anything on the bottom here. So we've gone through. We've updated your class list for you. We're also going to update the drivers, so nothing, you won't miss a beat on anything there. So, you know, you're good to go there. You might ask, you know, why did we decide to do that? So why did we make that class switch for you? The main reason is to help WSOTA and IMCA just kind of cut through some of the clutter with that. So if you're using a sanctioned event, so if any event that you have is sanctioned, you can use this class, so the main class here. But if you are using one that's not sanctioned, so if I was racing what would be a Midwest modified, but it is not sanctioned, we would use that B mod. So for test and tunes, things like that, we're not going to use the sanctioned class, and that way it won't send over to them. Anytime you use a sanctioned class, it does actually send it over to WSOTA, the specific sanction to approve for sanctioning if they're using MyRacePass. So USRA, WSOTA, those classes do that. We also updated the IMCA classes. You can update those if you'd like. I'd recommend that you do. So you are more than welcome to do that there. So inside, so let's say, you know, we have a class here, and I just call my snow bikes, we just have a different name for them. They are still snow bikes, but we just want to call them something else. We can go into manage classes here, and we're able to edit the names of those. You can see I've done that a little bit already with the Snow Pro as a Pro Light. That is a snowmobile kind of class, and we're able to rename that there. So I would recommend not using this to completely make things into something that they're not. So, you know, if you have a dirt late model, don't turn it into a Hornet. You know, things like that. So just keep that in mind. The reason we're doing that is that drivers are, you know, we're having the results in there in the system as that specific class. So if, you know, we don't have that right class in there, it's going to confuse them. It's going to make it harder for them to find the results. It's not going to be categorized correctly. It's it's going to have a lot of problems there if we use the wrong classes or try to kind of cheat it in a way. If you have questions about your individual classes or anything like that, or making sure that you have those correct, don't be afraid to reach out to us. We're always happy to help you figure out which classes you need to use or should be using to make sure we don't cause any sort of confusion. So we have our classes entered in. Again, for the series, they're going to be adding in the different tracks they're going to be racing at. So they'll have their ability to add in as many tracks as they want, and it's going to be different between the two. So let's take a look at that now. So we'll go into our schedules, which is right in here, the events. We can see that we've actually added in a couple different schedules here. So the reason that I did this, so let's say I am a track that's using point averages, and I don't want, I'm having a special event. It is a sanctioned event, but it's not counting towards my track points. You could actually use a special schedule to keep track of that. Schedules are how point averages, kind of cumulative points, are kept track of in the system. So by having two different schedules, I could keep track of two different things. So if I wanted to keep track of all of the points in Fridays in February to give a special title to, I could give something like this special schedule, or I can keep track of my main one in here. You can have as many different schedules as you want in the system, you know, and it's great to have. You can have them hidden in case you don't want people to see those, but you can keep track of points and pay sort of that way. So you can add them up here, that green button. We can also add events into the schedule. So we'll click into the schedule with the total events, and you can see all the events that I've run in the past. So let's add some events. So on the track side, we're going to do things this way. So we're going to add the events that we're running. So we can put in the name. Let's say it's Monday Madness. I highly recommend having a different name for every single class, or for every single date that you're running. Otherwise, it's just going to show up as 1/17/2020 event in this case, or some variation thereof, which isn't very exciting. You want to put your best foot forward when you are promoting an event. So you want to be able to do that. We can add more details about the event right here. So you can add in as much as you want there. We can add in the pits open time. So let's say the pits open at go 3, gates open at 5, let's say hot laps at 5:30, and racing starts, oh gosh, I'm always the worst at this. Let's say it starts at 6. So we have those times there. You can put in your times. I'm just picking some out of a hat, I guess. And then we're able to put in our classes. So what are we running that night? So let's do the sprint cars, the modifieds, and then the late models. So this was a sanctioned B mod, so we'll add in our B mod. If this was sanctioned by WISSOTA, we would add in this WISSOTA Midwest modified, and then they're able to actually view that, see, if it is a sanctioned event, and they're able to sanction it. If you know for sure it is not going to be sanctioned, do not add the WISSOTA specific class. So you can add in, just as I said, the B mod, so it doesn't go to WISSOTA. They don't need to be bothered by that. So we'll hit next, and then it's going to go to the next event that we picked, and it's going to have all of the events and everything here. All the times are available and the names, and we can make changes to that if we wanted to. So this event we're not doing that. We'll do this class next. If I added one I didn't want to, we could also just discard right here. Now you can see we have our events added in. They are ready to go. And we're able to see a few things here. So you might have noticed these icons over here to the sides. So Rainouts. So we have this event here on the 13th. Does not have any events added. So let's say that event actually rained out. So we can go in here to this edit button, click event status, and you can see that the status is right here. We can put it in as rainout. Now new to this year, we actually can put in a message that'll be displayed inside of the app. So we're also going to be able to notify your fans that are your favorites of some of the changes that were made here. So we have that rainout. We could put in a message here about that, that the event was rained out, and then that message will be pushed to the fans via the app. We put that in there. We have our event here. Now let's say it wasn't actually a rain out at all. We actually just need to remove it. So I've clicked into the event, has this red icon here. But we can also just click here where it schedules, remove it from schedule, and then it will be removed from there. So no one will see it. It's basically not counted in that schedule. Yeah, so for two schedules, I had a question about two schedules. It could be, using different schedules to combine events or having specials. That's kind of what using multiple schedules is all about. There's a lot of different uses for it. I can't cover every single one of them because some of them are kind of unique to every single track, but you can use special schedules for a lot of different methods. If you have questions, again, I'm going to be answering every question that you have there. Just make sure that you hit Alt and H. That's the spot where we have the chat. We also will be taking attendance through that as well. So make sure you have the ability to do that. Alt and H for the chat there. And that way we will know who attended. So let's take a look at this for series so you can get an idea of what the series is doing. So what the series does, when they go in there, add events, and then they click on where they're going to be racing at, and then they can add that in there. So we can see that we already have a date there at your favorite track for this date. We can actually pick, oh, no, not yet. Hold off on giving the roll call yet. We'll be doing that towards the end, so I can keep track of it a little better. But I appreciate I appreciate you guys doing that. So if I pick a date that's already on the schedule, so let's pick the 10th, this last one. It'll say, hey, we already have an event here. You can see that I've already added in times even. The reason is the times are here. That's based on what the track does. So the track has ultimate say over who's going to be racing at those events. And so you can see that right there. We have the event added in. It's good to go. So that's how the track works, and that's how that linking would work for you. Makes things pretty easy for everybody. Next thing we'll take a look at is the online registration. So here is the online registration that we have. We have 3 different ways of doing online registration. So this is the annual yearly registration. So we wanted to keep kind of a big roll call of who is going to be, you know, at the track that year. We could do that. We have that one. We have event registration, which is for a single event on the schedule. This is going to be for like big specials. The reason we're going to be doing that instead of the yearly one is this one doesn't actually go into the driver list. We're kind of assuming that we're going to have a lot of people that don't race with us every single week. And so we're just going to have a special. General registration is just going to take down kind of base information for you. You can use it for a non-racing event. I've seen people use that to keep track of like the pit crew. If you needed every pit crew member to pay, you could do something like that. And you're able to set that up. You're able to set up the fees in there. We can actually link this up to a PayPal account so you can actually collect payments for that. If you need help setting that up, just let us know. We can get you set up to collect payments for your online registration. So let's go into one and kind of see what it looks like. So here we have the new online registration. So if you've taken a look at what this form looks like, you might notice that it looks a lot more different than how we have it in the past. So the drivers now who've claimed their profile, so let's pick Matt Murdoch. No, let's pick Kale again. I like him. We can pick the classes that we're going to register for. So in this case, it's a 600cc micro. He actually has already put in his information a lot of different places. So he's actually able to copy over previous data that he's done in the past. So let's say all of his information is pretty much the same as a Sport Compact. And we can see what he has here. So he can put in his name information. It's going to fill all this up for him. All the numbers that he wants, if he wants to register as a rookie, all of this is in here. And he's able to hit continue. We can pay after we agree to everything. You're also able to put in the terms and conditions, lots of things in there. But we'll complete it. His registration is complete, and now we can confirm that driver. So he's going to show up as a pending driver right here. So we can see him here. We can see invoice numbers, see that he's a rookie. He does have his own card through MyRacePass. And then we can hit confirm. And so once they hit confirm competitor, you can also see that now the system knows what the driver is or who that driver is since he's claimed his profile. So we don't have to actually search for a driver anymore. We can put in the number that they want to use. Since he's 12, and we can confirm them. The driver's confirmed, and they are good to go. So how do you get the drivers to fill out everything? You know, drivers, you know, you just kind of have to make them. Some of the things that I've seen that works is to, if you're collecting payments, have it be more expensive if you have to do everything by paper. So I've seen places it costs more if they do it by paper. So a lot of them, I've never met a race car driver that has not complained about money. Just saying. And so if they have a way to do it, you're kind of giving them positive feedback to register online. Drivers who do register online is able to see that in the contact list here. So you can actually see all the drivers who have raced with me in the past, and you also see their address information if we have it, and contact information. All this is exportable onto Excel. So it's really handy to have that. So you can see all of that there. We're also able to assign them an MRP card if we wanted to. So if you have cards, I know some of you do, you can assign those there. A lot of them, I know you have some USRA and WISSOTA trucks here. Every USRA and WISSOTA driver gets an MRP card that they can use to scan there, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, no, you got some, looks like we have some great ideas too from the audience for getting people to fill out their information. And again, all of this, you're able to see when they check in if they've done this or not. So when we go into the 600cc micro class and try to check in Kale, we'll see that he's done it for the year. Also, if it was a sanctioned event, it'll show if he has a license or not. But that's getting more into what we're doing on Wednesday. I'm going to give a quick plug to Wednesday, which is going to be more race management focused. So got a little bit of a tease, a little bit of tease for that one, for that show. Again, it's going to be the same time on Wednesday, 5:30 and then 6:45. Okay. So let's move right along. We're going to go into the event, and we're going to add in some tickets. So every event that has, you can see here that if they have tickets, you can actually see. If they don't have tickets, it'll have a little exclamation mark. So let's add some tickets to a different event. I'm a little too close to that one. So let's say we want to add tickets to this one. You can see right here, they have the Add Tickets button. We can put when they're available from, so they can start buying them today. I'm going to pick one that's a little bit further out, just so that we get a good. Let's do this one here. So you can do the Add Tickets right here. So they can be available from a specific time. We can do a pre-sale. So if fans buy them before a specific time, we can give them a sale price. So we can pick our sections of which ones we want to sell. So you have the adult admission. So we're going to put in how many are available. And then we can also rename these. So we can have a lot of the ones I see is like kids 10 and up, for example. We can put in the prices here. So I don't want anybody to go to my test racetrack. So I always make these a little bit higher than normal. So we do something like that. We also can sell pit passes from here. So as long as we have an availability, we can do that. So, let's really, pit passes they're just getting up there. So we'll add them in here. And so as soon as I add them in, they are available for sale. So fans can start buying those. They can buy them inside of the MyRacePass app. They can buy them quite a few different places. So the MRP Marketplace, if you have a website through MyRacePass, they can buy them through there. Quite a few. And you can share them out to your social media from here. But let's take a look at the Tickets tab. And we have the tickets name right here. So let's take a look at this event. So at the end of the night for this event, we can edit the ticket status. There's a form that we need from you. It's an ACH form that lets us know where you want funds deposited. So it's going to text you a number from where you gave us that form from. And then you're able to put that in, say the event ran as planned, and then it goes to into your bank account the following Tuesday. We do that because we also handle refunds for cancellations, things like that. We also handle chargebacks for things as well. So we can also see how many people have sold tickets right here, or we can see the sold tickets and the redeem. We can share these out. So let's take a look at some tickets that were sold. So I'm going to do an event that we actually sold tickets for, so we can actually show what this looks like. So it's bike night. So we have a list of all the vouchers here. So fans can actually, we'll get a voucher here. So here's an example voucher here. So you can see an example voucher that someone would have. So you can actually scan this in here. There's a spot to scan. We have a couple different barcodes. So it would look like that. They could bring that up to the window and we can cross them off as they show up. We're also able to go for a different section here. So let's say I wanted my backgate people to just have pit passes. We could do that. So the pit passes will be right there. So you have a lot of different things there. All right, so You also have the redeem window. When I said you could scan those, you can do that right here. So you can redeem that, so you could scan it, and then if someone tries to use that same number, so I'm just going to copy and paste this here. Boop. Says it's valid, but if I tried to do it again, say it's redeemed. So we got to redeem it first, and then we do this. It's going to say it's invalid because I tried to use the same one twice. Other things that you can do on tickets, you can add different coupons. So you can see that on mine, I added a few different coupons here in the vouchers. So my racetrack, we have $1 off for drinks. We have an ad for the app. And then I've also worked with one of my sponsors to give a coupon here. So you can actually do that too. It's a great idea for more sponsorship, more things to sell for advertising. Another idea there. If you have any questions about how tickets or anything in that sort of realm works, Alt and H is the place to do that. I'm going to be answering all of the questions that you have. It doesn't have to be about anything I'm going over right now. It could be about the schedules, how that would work, tickets, online registration, how to do that. So feel free to do that. Alt and H is the place to do that. So feel free to ask questions. Looks like we have some good conversation going on here too. Good ideas going on for for receiving, how to get payments and things. So yeah, I'm going to go over some of that there. Let's do some other registrations too. The great thing too, like I said, it's a lot faster now for drivers to register than it has been in the past. So it'll let them keep all of their information that they've done from past years or from other places they race at. So if you're a USRA or a soda track, they can use the same information that they use to register for that license. So, and again, that's that information. When you have their address information, if you print checks, it'll go into there. You can use that for the contact list to pull that for banquet information if you need to send out banquet mailers. It's really handy. So, and again, we do have those sanctioned events too. So all the events, if you are a USRA sanctioned track or a WSOTA sanctioned track, you'll have your own special classes. So make sure that you, if you know it's sanctioned, you know that's what it's supposed to be, you use that special sanctioned class. So we have, you know, a lot of, so we can make sure that that sanction gets what they need there. So if you have a test and tune too, so if we had a test and tune night, we would make sure that we use the generic classes and not the specific class because it's not a sanctioned event. We want to make sure that we just send only sanctioned events over to help out the individual sanctions. The IMCA modifieds are actually now just IMCA modifieds. So in the past, they would have been AMODs. But now if you go into Sanctioned Classes and go into IMCA, we've actually created, all of these are special IMCA classes. So they're all unique. We haven't changed over every single IMCA class. It will probably happen at some point. If you'd like to help us get a head start on that, you can make sure that you're using the special IMCA classes. So IMCA has their own classes in the system now. That's going to help alleviate some of the different class conflicts, I think, that have happened in the past where, you know, they're using AMODs and things like that. So they have their own special class. Same with WSOTA. WSOTA classes are now their own unique class. I bring that up. We have a lot of a lot of them in here. And like I said, if you see these, if you ever see places where it has this underneath here, that's not the correct one. But for other ones, like I said, for everybody that we know that it was WSOTA sanctioned, we have gone in and done that. So you'll be good to go. So I have a question. If we have a way to know about other sanctions such as IMCA or NX, unfortunately, we can't know if they're licensed unless they use sanction management through MyRacePass. So WSOTA, yes sir, they use that, and because of that, we can kind of use a lot of the information that they have to tell if people are licensed or not. I can't, you know, we would love to work with other sanctions as well. You know, if you want to let your sanction know that that's something you'd be interested in doing, just let them know. You do that. And if you have questions about specific classes and making sure, because I see some question in there, just let us know. You know, we might need to just get your rules out. You know, we might need to get your rules so that we can tell what that class is supposed to be, because we have sort of an idea there about which classes are which. If we need to, we can make a new one, or we can find out which one it's supposed to be and do a name override. Yep. Have a shout out to Virginia from IMCA. She's pretty awesome as well. I've talked to her quite a bit. She is great. And then also for your IMCA track, we're doing IMCA focused race management Wednesday about the same time. We're going to be doing that as well, going over what that looks like for IMCA. And we're doing one for WSOTA. I know we have some for both. So you can definitely show up to both. It's always great to have them. Just don't think that because you're not sanctioned by that, we're not, you know, we don't judge, I guess is a great way of putting that. So I'm going to open it up to questions. Now we're going to have it opened to any questions that you have. Feel free to ask them now about anything we've gone over thus far. I'm happy to answer those for you. About anything we got going on here. I'll be keeping an eye on the chat. AltNH is the place to do that. Here we're going to be going over some of those things. Wow, long day. Some of those things there that we've gone over. Registration, like I said, that's a big new one, and also notifications inside the app. So how can you delete a season race once entered? So if you need to delete a race, you can go into the race itself. So let's say this one, see here, just doesn't have as much in it. On the third, we can click on it. And then we have the schedule here. We can see there. We can remove it from the schedule. And now that it's removed from the schedule, we go back. We'll see that the third is gone. So that's a good way to do that. Night of Destruction, how would you enter those classes? So if that is sort of a demo derby class, I think we might have you covered. Generally, demo derbies and things might be done in the generic one. If they're more for like exhibition, things like that. I believe we also have some demo derbies, figure eights. We have a lot of different classes in there. I will be honest and say that I don't know every single class that we have in the system, but we do have a lot of people that do. So any problems registering one driver in two different classes? No, shouldn't be. Just make sure that you set up your payments correctly. And what I mean by that is it depends on how you set up your payments. So like if we put the base fee of $40, if I enter, I only have to pay the 40 once if I enter in the classes. If I put 40 for each class I entered is $40. So, but you can enter in more than one at the same time, and you can do it fairly quickly there. Have you seen where a competitor has said they're attending a race at a track? It shows up in that track's season races. Yeah, so they can do that. A driver can put in their schedule and say they're going to be at the event, but it won't actually create an event. So that hasn't happened in a while. we have actually locked down the ability to create an event to only tracks and series. So it won't actually show publicly for you as long as you are a claimed track. So if you're an unclaimed track, which I believe every one of you have claimed your tracks, it won't show. If you're an unclaimed track, it will show if a driver creates an event so that the driver can show it on a schedule. So if they are completely not using MyRacePass, it won't, but as soon as they claim it, the track has ultimate say over that. And also it does that, so inside of race management, you can actually see who's pre-registered for classes or who say they're going to be there. Yeah, that was a great question. Yeah, no, feel free to ask about go-karts. If it's about specific, like which class is which in go-karts, I'm not the best at that, but I will attempt. There are a lot of go-kart classes, but feel free, ask away. This is your guys' time, so if you do have any questions about anything in that realm, I am happy to do so. So again, if you have classes that you think just don't fit the bill or just not quite right, feel free to reach out to us directly after this is over, and we can kind of double check and see what that would be. So I mean, it's since go-kart classes, there are a lot of them that can be pretty specific. It'd probably be best to do that kind of individually as opposed to in the group, if that makes sense, Lisa. Just because there's a lot of them. Yeah, that was a different kind of thing, Josh. Yeah, so I remember that. That's just due to the interesting nature that that specific thing has, but that's not going to affect a lot of people. I'm kind of speaking in kind of vague terms because I don't want to, yeah, but it's just special to you guys. If two drivers try to register with the same number, do they get a notification? So it won't let them register. So when, so depending on how you do it, they can actually take the same number, but it won't let you enter them into the same race with the exact same car number. So you can have two guys register to be car 51, for example. So you can have a car 51 and another car 51, but you can't have both car 51s race at the same day in the same class. It will let you, there's an option there for, I think single events have that ability, because if it was a single event, you know, you're not going to want to do that. But the numbers there, in general, it doesn't matter in registration. They can pick that. What other class will be going over how to sign in drivers using cards or on the app? Any of the ones that go over race management, we'll do that. And I think some of the ones about duplicate driver profiles will go over that, because using the scanning with the app has the ability to eliminate on duplications. So that's a big one there. Sorry, there's a lot of messages that I gotta keep up here. Can you lock down a number for a driver for a season? Not using anything inside the system. I know some people, though, kind of do lock it down to one specific person, but there's not a way to make it so that I could only be the 00 now and forever. Simply because you could have someone just race that guy's car. There's a lot of things there. Yep, and then use a different car number or letter. Yep, and it is you have to be the exact same car number too. So a 01 is technically a different number than just the one itself, because yeah, it's a little different. Oh, John, for the Wasota Late Model Challenge Series, that is something we're going to take care of. We're just going to get to it. it's, yeah. We are going to get to it before the season starts. There's a lot of work that has to be done, making sure all the driver lists and everything change over with the classes. That's part of why I listed that, and part of why I brought it up was so that if any Wissota track here kind of looked at it, they may not. I want to make sure we kind of make everyone's on the same page. But we did a lot of things behind the scenes here, and we'll take care of that for you with the challenge series. So for scanning tickets at the front and the back gate, there's not a specific reader to use. We do have a barcode scanner that we recommend for a lot of different applications. You can actually find that inside of the knowledge base here. There's a link to it on Amazon that you can use. You would need to have a version, you would have to have MyRacePass up so that it could scan it, so it could recognize that there. But since it all is running over the cloud, it would actually know between the front and the back gate. So if I tried to run or just print off the same one and tried to enter from the front and the back and he used the scanning, it'll only take the one that was scanned first, if that makes sense. Since it is all based over the cloud, it will know who's using what where. So it'd be real hard to try to outfox it. But no, there's some great questions being asked here today. And again, we're going to go over a lot of different things here. We have a lot of different classes planned, including first time ever Saturday classes. So get hyped for that. Saturday and all kinds of classes here throughout until it looks like for the next month. You can actually find out all about which classes we're running here. It is going to be the same information. So when you click like go to webinar, it is going to be the same one, kind of that early late designation. So if you want to get into the early ones, it's going to be the same information. If you want to get into the late one on Wednesday, it's actually going to be the same information. So do that as well. If a driver races more than one class, they'd actually just show up in the registration under two different classes here. The only thing you'd click allow duplicate entry is if you had the same driver. You wouldn't use that often, that box. So, thanks for the appreciation of the Saturday classes. Yeah, that should be fun. We just want to make sure that everybody is able to attend. And again, want to make sure that you guys we have as many different opportunities for you guys to sit in on these, have some good conversation. Like I said, I think we've all learned a lot here. Even I've learned some different tips and tricks that you guys use, which is very handy as well. So again, now Wednesday, so 2 days from today, we have a Wissota one at 5:30, IMCA one at 6:45. There. Registration copies to scan at the back gate available. I'm not sure what you mean, but you can also too with the registrations. You can also have these forms to fill out too. And what some folks do, I know, is they actually take these and they print them out double-sided with insurance forms. So they have them fill this out and they have insurance forms, and they fill these out. And that way you can get tax ID information, things like that. They have a hard copy of. Again, this is we're going to leave it open for questions for a little bit longer. And we can show off some of the online registration here. You also have the option to put in different messages, so we can have a welcome message or different rules that we'd want to. Yep, you can print out the forms for the tax accountant. Yep. And then you keep those so that you have a hard copy of tax ID information, because we don't store that here, but it gives you a place to collect them. It's a way to print those out in bulk. I believe so. If you print out here, so there's a way to, every confirmed entry, it'll print out those. I only have one, so it's, oh, no, this is every confirmed entrant. So this is every single Kale Trickle. He's a prolific driver, but yeah, you can print those out right here. Or you can print out every single rookie or the current filter, which is just going to be this class. So you can do that. So you can actually also put in the welcome message. So if you have specific rules that you want them to see, you have that. We also have specific terms. My terms and conditions are the lyrics to La Bamba. So, but you can put another. I'm sure your guys' terms are a little bit better than mine, but I just wanted some text there. And again, this is the contact list. We can actually export this. I see a lot of folks in your banquet time use this for mailers, so they can print out all of that. This is pulled directly in from online registration. We could fill this out ourselves if we need. So if a driver came up and I'm not going to sing La Bamba Gay. Sorry, you don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to sing that. Nobody wants to hear me sing. But if somebody wanted to change their address, we could do that in here. This is also where, if you're printing out checks, the addresses for those checks are pulled from. So, all right. So again, went over that configuration. So we also, like I said, want to make sure where you have our series, right? You can add in different series in here. It'll keep track of the series that we have used in the past. So you can see season series. So we had some that have raced there before. We can do that here. We also have all series. So you can actually search for a brand new series in here. And every series should have a class in there. So, and it'll add that into your class list for you. You can just type the search. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it here, but you could. So if we wanted, you know, just anyone that had world here, we could. No, you don't have to fill out the registration. Again, if you don't want to, you can just show up there. We're going to be keeping track of attendance differently, but the registration, showing up and registering in advance, lets us know, you know, what interest is. And we're actually kind of peeling back the curtain a little bit. We're going to use that for next year and years in the future to refine this and make it a little bit better so that we can reach more and more people. So the more that we get some of the pre-registrations in and know who's attending what classes, and know, you know, what works and what doesn't work, that helps for 2021, 2022, so on and so forth. And again, all of these will be on our YouTube page. So we have that here. It's going to be in the help videos. You can find that from your dashboard. You also can find that myracepass.com/YouTube. So we have that available here. So I'm going to leave it open for questions. If you, so I'm also going to take attendance now. So if you would kindly put in your name and what tracks you represent, I will take down that information now. We're going to be using that to determine some things. So I know like different sanctions wanted to know who's all going to be here, as well as the promotion. This is where we're going to be doing that. I guess you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you do want to be counted for the promotion, we're going to be doing that here. So if you have any questions, you might want to wait till the if you have any questions, you might want to wait till everybody's passed, just so that I don't miss it, because it is coming in kind of fast and furious here. But yep, we're just going to letting everybody know, enter in that information. Awesome. Awesome. Some people have definitely a lot of familiar faces in here. Thank you all for attending. So, but yeah, we'll leave it open for questions here. Now, unfortunately, y'all can take all the snow. Today is actually one of the nicest days in February I've ever seen for the great state of Nebraska. So I don't want any of the the other stuff. So you can keep the snow. It was 60 degrees today, if you'd believe that, which is sweltering Nebraska weather. For February at least. But yeah, I will say the only thing I cannot help you all out with is the weather. Can you delete a driver if you've entered them more than once? You can't delete a driver, but they won't do anything if they're in more than once. So, you can't do that. So that is an option. Fortunately, with the way that we have it set up now, it should actually cut out a lot of the duplication, because you're only going to see it when that's available there. If you see duplicate drivers, like a complete duplicate driver, like a driver listed in twice in the entry list, let me know, because we have ways to make sure that we kind of put that driver into one profile. There's a specific format that I would like those in. I'll go over that in the future, but I'll let you know. Yep. Yep. You're right, Josh. I absolutely love duplicate drivers. They're the bee's knees. No, I do work with a lot of duplicate drivers. It's not the end of the world if you create them, but we'd like it if you avoid them, if at all possible, and we'll fix it. It's not the end of the world. We can take care of that. We just need it in the right format so I know which is which and how to find them, because it helps me out a lot. But I have special tools that let me take care of those duplicate drivers. If you have duplicate registrations, though, where the same driver paid you twice, we're going to cut down on that a lot. Yep, spelling, and also hometowns too. Hometowns, and also some drivers that just like to change their name every single place. But yeah. So we have a question here. Once the driver registers, do they mail them their MRP cards? If they register with a sanction, the sanction sends them the cards if the sanction uses MyRacePass. So Yosoray and Wasota does. Non-sanctioned drivers do not get cards necessarily from us, but they can claim their profile to get the card from their phone. We also send them out so specific tracks might be able to assign them. But that was a great name. Great name. Great question, Zach. It's been a long night. Yes, nicknames too. That's so another kind of spoiler tip. Something that'll be happening Wednesday is to just make sure when you're searching for drivers to do that, and I'll also show ways that we can make it so the drivers can correct things. So, but yeah, it's sort of a team effort to make sure that we don't have them. Because as much as I'd like to police and make sure that we don't have as many duplicate drivers, I don't know the drivers as well as anyone else. So, so a question about the scan tool, is there an advantage? Yes, the scanning, so since drivers can only have one card per profile, whenever you use the scanner, you're going to make sure that they at least are using that same card, that same one. And also it goes a lot faster if you scan them in as opposed to having to find them. Yeah, you can type in the long number as well if you'd like, but having that scanner, it speeds it up a lot. I've been to an event that had, well over 300 participants. We made sure every single one of those drivers had the cards, and it flew by. Yeah. If they have two different cars, they would use the same one, and you would scan them into each class. So you would scan. So if I raced an A and a B mod, you would scan me in once as A mod. You'd scan me in the other as a B. What happens when they leave their card? So if they lose their card, as drivers are wont to do, I would just tease them about it and tell them to claim their profile so they get it on their phone. So the drivers that get them on their phones, it's so easy for them to do that. It's free for them to claim. It's right on their phone, And if you have a driver that keeps losing his phone, well, that's really on them, don't you think? but yeah, no, Josh is very correct. I was there at that Super Nationals. Very fast. When everyone has those cards and it's working, as intended, it flies by. Where do you get the scanner? So you can get a scanner a lot of different places, but you can actually go into our knowledge base. We have one that we recommend. Right here, you can actually look it up for barcode scanners. If you have 2 different windows to scan in, do you need 2 different scanners? You don't need to, but if you had 2, it'll go faster. But yeah, there's an Amazon link right here. This is the one we recommend. Apparently something went wrong with Amazon. Weird. There you go. That never happened before. But yeah, this is the scanner we recommend. It scans phones, so. So it's pretty handy. You can actually use other scanners as well, as long as they have that ability there. That one can scan a phone, so. Yep, and yeah, those cards work everywhere too. So if you have a driver that races out of town or, anything like that, especially a different sanctioned driver, that scanner, let me tell you, it really pays off if you really force that, and especially once the drivers can see. So if you have 2 different windows, you might want to maybe have a scanner window and a not scanner window. That way the drivers can see how much faster it goes with the scanner window. Then they'll remember those cards. Just a thought, but not every driver has to claim them. Again, you can also assign all those cards too. We're on back order on some of those cards, so we can't get them to you right now, but you do have that ability, so you know. Hey, Quinn. How you doing? So we're going to be wrapping it up here in just a bit, but if you do have any other questions, feel free. We're going to be, it's almost time. I think they're going to kick me out, send me out into the street. But yeah, I'm keeping track of all of this. Thanks for letting me know. Y'all have been great tonight. Yep, and yeah, feel free to email me if you have any specific questions. I know a lot of you have my email. You also email into support@myracepass.com. That'll reach me one way or the other if you need to get in touch with me. And feel free. That's what I'm here for. No such thing as too many questions, I tell you. So if y'all didn't ask questions, I would be out of a job. So don't tell them I said that, but but yeah, feel free to to ask as many questions as you want. All right, well, that's all the time for me. Oh, thank you so much. It was great meeting you as well at PRI. It has been great speaking with y'all. Again, we're going to be having these webinars again, 5:30 Central Time at Wednesday, 5:30 and 6:45. Going to be going over race management. Should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for them. And then we're also having some next Monday, the 24th. That's going to be going over MRP Live and our favorite duplicate profiles. Oh boy. Should be a good one. Have a good night. I'll see you all later.